different parts of the world. And today in business schools and MBA schools, they're teaching. Join Chamber of Commerce's, join the Rotaries, join the Lions, build contacts. And they teach them network. And you ask them, what are you doing? I'm networking. Why are you networking? I'm building contact. Why are you building contact? Someday he could be useful. Someday he's a doctor, he's a lawyer, he's a cop, he's a politician, he's a mafia. Who knows, someday he could be useful. Build contacts. Folks, they do not teach them there is a world of a difference between building contacts versus building relationships. Are you with me? Folks, there is a huge difference, and I need to learn from Mr. Vivek Tankar. He's got friends going back 30, 40, 50 years. Amazing, and they are all there. Good time, bad time, they are there. He's there. See, there is so much to learn. This is what we are talking of, building relationships versus building contacts. You see, people who only build contacts that someday he could be useful, usefulness goes, friendship also goes. See, these are parasites. Parasites, selfish people, they're only takers in life. You can never work long-term with people who are only takers in life. Now, is this the reason why we form friendship, that someday it could be useful? That's absolutely rubbish. That is total selfishness. Folks, come back to, see, once I came in, we have an office in Singapore, I came from dinner, and a man met me in the lobby, and he asked me, Mr. Kira, you came from dinner? I said, yes, sir. You met some people this evening? I said, yes, sir. And then he said, I hope you met some people who could be useful to you. Now, I felt like giving a piece of my mind in something else. See, his objective of meeting people was usefulness. What he could extract out of them. Folks, not realizing that usefulness is a byproduct of relationship. Are you with me? Usefulness is a byproduct of relationship. And people who have strong relationships, there was a study done at Harvard University, which I mentioned in my book. They live healthier life, longer life, happier life, because they are relationships. And people who don't have good relationships, they are emotionally bankrupt. And people who are emotionally bankrupt use the word trust. How can you trust them? How can you trust them? You see, people who are emotionally bankrupt, they are whimsical people, moody people. The same person is all sugar and honey to you today, and the same person ought to catch your throat tomorrow. There is imbalance. You can't trust people like that, can you? So eventually it comes down to emotional stability. And of course, folks, we talked about stress in my book. The reason why I put this book out at this time, in the last 2 decades, the depression rate and stress has gone up by 400%. And economic cost is in excess of $1 trillion per year. $1 trillion. And in the US, I have statistics there. I don't have the statistics in India. But in the US, it is costing in excess of $300 billion, and 1 million man days are lost per year. And 83% of people who go to work, they are talking of stress-related problems. And medical doctors I've talked to, and some of them are here, they say 60, 70, even 80% of the sicknesses are psychosomatic. Psycho means mind, somatic, soma is the body. Sickness manifests in our body because of mind, which is basically nothing else but stress. And suicide rates, depression rates have gone up today drastically. So it is badly needed today. Needed yesterday too. But you see, because of that, Relationships are breaking down like you would not even believe. Now, important thing is, I did some research which said about 200 years ago, most marriages in the Western world were love marriages. They were arranged marriages, they were not love marriages. That means the marriage came first and the love came after. Granted, they might have had problems, but by and large, they still lasted. And today in the Western world, pretty much most marriages are so-called love marriages, and they have 60, 70, 80, in some places even 90% divorce rate. That means love came first and the marriage came later. So they have devised a midway which is called, let us live together without making no commitment. Let us live together, and they live together, and you ask them the purpose behind is, what is the purpose behind this? We're checking compatibility. For 5 years they keep checking compatibility every day. And then they get married, 2.5 hours later they have a divorce. What did you check? Folks, have you ever seen a compatible couple in this world? Show me one. Look at your parents. Are they compatible? Folks, there is no and compatibility is not what keeps a relationship going. It is our ability to live with the incompatibilities in life that keeps a relationship going. You know something? Compatibility is a word which is invented by divorce attorneys. They have invented this word. Nobody else. Compatibility. Where compatibility? What compatibility are we talking about? So anyway, eventually it comes down to building relationships. Now, folks, in the interest of time, I know you have to leave. And I just want to cover two important things. In fact, three, sir. Three. Okay, because you had six and I have only three. Okay, folks, quickly, one major cause of stress today is there are people who are equating success with only money. Only money. Folks, major cause of stress. And there are people who keep looking at the kind of clothes you wear, kind of jewelry you have, the kind of car you drive, kind of home you live, because they judge your self-worth by your net worth. Are you with me? They judge your self-worth by your net worth. Not only do they judge your self-worth by your net worth, but they also judge their own self-worth by their own net worth. No wonder they keep making comparisons. How come they have this, I don't have it? How come they have this, I don't have it? How come they have this, I don't have it? And to make comparisons, again, because if I don't have this, I am inferior. That's why they put on a false mask. And people buy things today. They buy things they don't need with the money that they don't have to impress the people who don't mean anything in life anymore. And that is really what is going on today. Not realizing, as somebody said, cash is king. Cash is king. Money in the bank is more valuable than your designer clothes in your wallet, in your closet. Are you with me? Yes. Money in the bank is much more valuable than your designer clothes in your closet. People have to understand what reality is all about. And now that was one of the things. Now two more. One is to handle stress in life. In fact, problems in life. It all depends on our resources to handle them. Supposing you are taking a walk in the forest and a lion comes in front of you. Who has a problem? You have a problem. But supposing miraculously you have AK-47 in your hand, now who has a problem? Lion has a problem. So a lot depends on your own resources, how you handle it. So somebody said to handle problems in life, seek help. Don't fight your battles alone. I repeat, seek help. Do not fight your battles alone. There was a young boy who told his dad, he said, Dad, there's a rock in the ground there. I'm going to move it. I'm going there. So he went there, and he came back, and father asked, son, were you able to move the rock? He said, no, Dad, but I'm going to go back again. Next day again he went, and he came back, and Dad asked, son, were you able to move the rock? He said, no, Dad, but I'm going to go back again. See, Anup here, third day, the father quietly went behind this kid, and he saw his son was pushing hard, and he was sweating all the way. And Dad quietly said, son, are you using all your strength? And the boy said, yeah, Dad, look at this. I'm using all my strength. And father said, son, you never asked me, am I not part of your strength? Are you with me? You never asked me, am I not part of your strength? Don't fight your battles alone. Stop fighting your battles alone. Yes, we all want to be independent and fight it. But keep in mind, use your strength. Family is your strength. Build your strength. This is what emotional equation is all about. And that we can handle stress. Keep in mind, stress is unavoidable. It is normal. It is natural. And by the way, stress cannot be delegated. Rajiv, I can't give you my stress. Nor can you. We have to handle our own stress by ourselves. It cannot be delegated. So there are some things we need to learn. And this is what we are talking of in this book. AK-47, that man could handle the tiger or the lion. This book is talking about tools, how to handle stress as we go along. And one more that I'd like to share on the last one. Personally, I met a gentleman, I think almost 45 years ago. His name was Dr. Robert Elliott. You might have heard the story, the last one. Robert Elliott, he was a cardiologist and a cardiologist of the cardiologists. He was teaching cardiology all over the world. And he was going from the limousine to the aircraft, to the limousine to the aircraft, to the limousine to the aircraft. And he was teaching cardiology. And this man was in mid-45, somewhere about 40 years. One day, in the morning, he arrived at a hospital. He was to address a few hundred medical doctors. But all of a sudden, he felt discomfort in his own chest. Being a cardiologist, right away he recognized something was wrong. He went to the nurse's station and said, check me out. And they checked him out and they found he was having a heart attack. Needless to say, he couldn't address. Immediately he was taken to the ER and given treatment right there. After he recovered, he's written a book called It's All Small Stuff. You see, after he recovered, he wrote a book, Is It Worth Dying For? And the book ends with this. He said, the heart attack was the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. The heart attack was the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. He said, what that heart attack taught me is, till then, I was on the fast lane. I was practicing everything against what I was telling them. I was telling them to slow down and I was on the fast lane. And he said, I had a lovely wife. Didn't spend time with her. I got two lovely daughters. They were sleeping when I left home. They were sleeping when I came home. I never saw them grow up in my life. And besides, I never took time to smell the roses outside my window. He said, the heart attack was the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. And he said, from there I learned two things. One, don't sweat the small stuff. I repeat. 2 lessons I learned. 1, don't sweat the small stuff. And number 2, it's all small stuff. It's all small stuff. But then, I have closed my book by saying, social responsibility and serving to humanity is not small stuff. We have to serve. It is our obligation. And I concluded that with that. And Rajiv, I want to thank you. Known you